The Euros is around the corner, with 41 days to go. Favourites have been named, dark horses selected, and all that's left is for coaches to announce their picks for the tournament. England is a heavy favourite for the 2024 Euros, having reached the final last time in 2021. As always, its coming home fever is at its peak, and fans can't wait to belt it out. Will football in fact come home? That's unlikely, but we've all earned our delusions. Now for some backstory into the tournament standings. England aced the qualification stages, putting Ukraine, Italy, North Macedonia and Malta to the sword in an entertaining run of form that saw the Gareth Southgate-led side win 6 and draw 2 games. Finishing on such a high means they get in easier pots, and Group C fits the bill. The three Lions will face Slovenia, Denmark and Serbia, with Serbia serving as the opening fixture on June 16th. To answer the question, what will the England starting 11 look like for this curtain raiser? Gareth Southgate will likely stick with the formula that has brought him the most success since taking over as England boss. That means a 4-3-3 formation with some familiar faces. Let's find out who. Forwards. Barring injuries or alien abduction, there is only one man to lead the line for the three Lions, Harry Kane. Switching to Bayern Munich has done nothing to dampen Harry Kane's lethality. If anything, he appears to be in the form of his life, contributing 43 goals and 11 assists in 44 appearances across all competitions. As the record goalscorer and talisman for the three Lions, Kane's fine form has more than earned him a place in the starting 11 at the heart of attack. In fact, he might just be the key to Gareth Southgate overturning the team's trophy drought. Although that itself is mostly speculative, since the forward is rumoured to be cursed with trophylessness. After escaping the trophy averse Tottenham for the silverware hoarder that is Bayern Munich, many expected the Englishman to have trophies coming out of his ears come the end of the season. But Bayern are currently trophyless, have bottled the league for the first time in over a decade, and have been knocked out of the UCL by Real Madrid. Kane's presumed allergies to silverware aside, he remains the best man to lead the attack. Backing up Kane is Manchester City superstar Phil Foden. Speaking of players having the best season of their careers, it'd be mundane to skip Phil Foden. Competition for the left wing spot is high, with names like Marcus Rashford, Jack Grealish in contention. Still, the Manchester United forward has had a rotten season, and Foden is higher up in the pecking order than Grealish at City. The 23-year-old is a natural on the wing, possessing explosive pace and delicious dribbling skills that could prove handy for terrorising opponents and feeding key passes to Harry Kane. Currently, he has 23 goals and 10 assists in all competitions. As impressive as that sounds, it barely shows the extent of what Foden brings to the table and his ability to be a key player on any side. And on the right flank for the attack is none other than the Gunners' fan favourite, Bukayo Saka. When you think of the poster boy for the miracles Mikel Arteta has wrought at Arsenal, no one fits the picture better than Bukayo Saka. The winger came through the ranks at the club when the club needed a hero. And a hero he became, establishing himself as a first-team regular and one of the most consistent players at the North London club. Of course, there's a debate about how Arsenal's dependency on the 22-year-old might stunt his development compared to Foden, who was given time to bloom. However, that's a discussion for another day, as Saka shows no signs of slowing down. With less competition on the right wing and 20 goals and 13 assists in all competitions this season, we can expect Saka to walk into Southgate's starting 11, no questions asked. Now for the midfield positions, which might be the most controversial of all. Jude Bellingham. Like Kane, Bellingham was another Englishman who made a blockbuster move to a different league at the start of the current season. Also, like Kane, the 20-year-old has hit the ground running. In a Madrid team filled with superstars in every position, Bellingham has stepped up as an untouchable and the face of the new era in the young Galacticos. From midfield, he's contributed 22 goals and 10 assists in all competitions this season. His run of form is impressive, not just for his club but also for his age. Since being scooped up by Dortmund, the Englishman has continued to develop brilliantly until he's become one of the best midfielders in the sport. For these points alone, except through injury, there's no way he won't make the starting 11. Now for who holds the line between defence and midfield. Look no further than the Gunners' man, Declan Rice. Whisper it quietly, Declan Rice is a better player for Arsenal than he ever was for West Ham. That doesn't mean he wasn't good for the Hammers. He certainly was, but he could not have been captain. But what has arguably made his career at Arsenal better is playing in a more competitive team with better players who help him be the best version of himself. For many critics, the £100 million price tag slapped on Rice seemed out of touch with reality during the transfer window, but he has more than lived up to the hype and price tag. Still only 25, he has helped the Gunners mount a serious title challenge this season. He's one of the best defensive midfielders in the world right now, bar Manchester City's Rodri. For the Three Lions, his only real competition is Calvin Phillips. However, the former Leeds United man's career has unravelled since joining Manchester City, and his loan spell at West Ham hasn't exactly been convincing. So if Southgate needs a player to hold the line and allow Bellingham to work his magic, Declan Rice is the only sensible choice. Now for the most controversial pick of all, the third midfield act. There is more competition here than anywhere else on the team. Southgate would have to pick between James Maddison, Kobbie Mainoo, Conor Gallagher, Jared Bowen, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and even Jordan Henderson. Our pick though is United sensation, Kobbie Mainoo. Mainoo is young and has less experience than the rest of the competition, but he's the only true CM/CDM that can be used in a double pivot with Rice to allow Bellingham the freedom to roam and attack the opponent's final third. Gallagher is the next best pick, but injuries and fitness concerns have plagued him this season, reducing his minutes for Chelsea. Mainoo, on the other hand, is a breakout star at a struggling Manchester United that has somehow managed to leapfrog the likes of Eriksen, Casemiro, Amrabat and McTominay to a more secure position in the starting 11. Plus, in his debut for England, he impressed beyond belief. He's come in handy for United with clutch goals, providing himself as a player for the big stages who isn't afraid to keep fighting. Henderson might be more experienced, but he's having one campaign after another since leaving Liverpool. He's also on the wrong side of 30. Maddison began the season as one of the best attacking midfielders in the EPL, but injuries have since knocked him off his perch. Finally, Trent Alexander-Arnold is a defender, not a fully fledged midfielder. Sure, he can play midfield in an inverted defensive role, but his defensive capabilities have been the biggest criticisms of his career, so it makes sense for Southgate to go with the more adept Mainoo and alternate with any of the rest. That said, let's talk about the four players holding the line. Defenders. Beginning with former United talisman, Harry Maguire. There have been lots of career resurgence this season, whether it's Granit Xhaka at Bayer Leverkusen, Matteo Darmian at Girona, or Jadon Sancho at Dortmund. However, one player who has yet to get his due flowers is Harry Maguire. The towering centre-half already has his place in Southgate's squad locked down, but the sentiment surrounding his inclusion in the team is much different nowadays. It no longer feels undeserving because Maguire has turned his career around since being stripped of the captaincy at club level, rejecting a move to West Ham and enduring endless online abuse. When he was fit, the former Leicester man became one of the bright sparks at Old Trafford, picked ahead of the World Cup and UCL winner Raphael Varane. With his confidence back, we can expect Maguire to boss centre-back for the Three Lions. Kyle Walker. Walker might not be an ideal relationship partner, but he's a great defensive one. His versatility with playing as part of a back three or back four makes him incredibly useful to Southgate, should there be any need to switch things up. Since taking over the job in England, only Kane and Maguire have had more international caps. That's proof of his importance to the Three Lions. His abilities are also exceptional for his age. He has the skill and pace to be tremendous down the wing. For Maguire's partner, look no further than John Stones. Ever since finding his feet again at Manchester City, Stones has been one of the most impressive defenders in the world. In the 2021 Euros and 2018 World Cup, the former Everton man showed remarkable backline abilities. Given the reduced competition for defensive positions, Stones' place in the starting 11 is less guaranteed. However, his physicality and ball-playing skills will be handy additions to England. He's also versatile enough to play higher up the field in midfield. Wrapping up the defensive act is Kieran Trippier. Since moving to Newcastle United, Kieran Trippier has been a revelation. He's one of Southgate's mainstays and could quickly fill in for Walker should injury and fitness concerns continue. Even though Trippier has had better seasons for the Magpies, he remains a veteran player with enough versatility in both defence and set pieces. It's a no-brainer that he's involved. Finally, for the man between the sticks, Jordan Pickford. No surprises here, Southgate has always had one number one, the Toffees man, Jordan Pickford. Even when other English goalkeepers have improved and had a great season, Southgate hasn't changed his mind about his starting goalie. We saw this when the likes of Dean Henderson, Nick Pope and Aaron Ramsey had great seasons at their respective clubs. That's down to performance at the international level. Pickford might play for an average Everton team now, but he's more exciting for England and continues to show why he's number one. That's the end of the video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. As always, I'll see you in the next one.